Families at a South Texas detention facility protested for freedom. This all happened over the weekend at the South Texas Family Residential Center in Dilley, which is just outside San Antonio.
That is where a 5-year-old detained in Minnesota last week and his father were sent. Our Daniela Ibarra spoke with an attorney who was there and heard that protest as it happened.
Immigration attorney Eric Lee says he came to Dilley on Saturday to visit clients. When he was in the waiting room, he says guards ordered him and everyone in there to get out. He says he was overwhelmed by what he saw and heard.
Can you hear that?
Lee captured this footage on his way out of the facility.
And I started hearing all these children shouting. I wasn't sure what it was at first, and then I started to hear that they were shouting, let us out, or libertad. It was hundreds of them, and they're kids.
The Frio County Sheriff's Office told us this happened just before 1 p.m. on Saturday. The sheriff says detainees were organizing into groups, trying to push their way out. Deputies, DPS, and Border Patrol officers responded. Lee says the detainees speaking out like this is a risk.
To express their First Amendment right to seek redress of the U.S. government for the conditions that they're facing, I was inspired.
Last year, we told you about a lawsuit alleging inhumane conditions inside the facility. Families claimed the water and food made them sick and said the medical care is subpar. Attorneys for those detained say that hasn't changed. We did reach out to the Department of Homeland Security on Saturday and followed up today. We asked them about the protests as well as the allegations of inhumane conditions. We have yet to hear back. In Dilley, I'm Daniela Ibarra, KSAT 12 News.
Okay, the reason I showed you that video, being that it's horrific, is not the only reason. It is a sign of a concentration camp. I don't care what they call it, a detention center, a secure facility, whatever. They should not want to be doing that. There's only a few reasons why they would want to, and that's exactly as described in the video: poor medical care, poor nutrition, poor bedding, poor living conditions, all of it. Why else would they want to do that? Okay, I know some of these MAGA slop hounds that love that this is happening because it makes them feel better about their pathetic lives will come over here and say, oh, of course they're protesting. They don't want to be there. They want to get out. They're all criminals. Those were women and children, okay, screaming, libertad, libertad, let us out, because they are sleeping on the concrete floor under tinfoil, okay? And you're over here patting yourself on the back because Donald Trump told you that gas is under $1 somewhere, all over the country supposedly, not in your town, but somewhere. Yeah. And they're getting hundreds of thousands of illegal immigrants off the street. No, they're not. They're pulling American citizens out of their homes with non-judicial warrants, and it's not even hundreds of thousands, okay? They're just pulling people at random and throwing them in there. If you're even trying to go to court for your legal status, your immigration status, they will haul you off and send you to a place like that, or worse, CCOT. Okay? They will. All right? You can try and push this away, but it's not going to. Okay, we can all see it. It's right there. It's disgusting and deplorable, and we need to mobilize against this immediately. And here is this. Disheartening is not the right word for it. Disgusting is. We know what he's doing. Okay, blocking the Epstein files, cutting funding to things that directly are involved in the deterrent of human trafficking, and then the videos showing women and children in a detention center in Dilley, Texas, screaming about how they need to be let out and the conditions are deplorable. Great. Now the Pro-2A party has made it okay for them to enter your home with a non-judicial warrant. Don't you love how the party of small government and more freedom keeps putting their boot down on immigrant families and anybody else's neck who they want to subjugate to their rule and oppression? They don't care if their life sucks as long as somebody else's life sucks more. They know that these people probably these agents won't come to their house, so they're okay with them going to these immigrants' house. That's the important distinction here and why they don't care.
Okay, why the pro 2A party suddenly doesn't give a rat's ass about people coming in with no warrant, illegal search and seizure, taking you from your home. They don't care. That's why, because it's not happening to them. But it will happen to them. But we don't want to let it get there, okay? Because that is way too far. We need to stop this now. They should not be allowed to do this. This is insane and absurd. And if you're okay with this, if you can find any reason to be okay with this, you need to get it together and get a grasp on reality. I don't know where you think this is headed, but it's nowhere good if you allow the regulations for freedom to be taken away from everybody else and just leave them up for yourself, okay? Because they're going to be taken away from you too. They will find a way to do it. They do not care.